All right, should be live. It's that time of the night, boys. Welcome to another live stream. I am sorry that I have been gone for so long. um, Basically, what happened was my my siblings they grabbed my computer off of a very large desk, like a very high up desk, and they knocked it on the ground pretty hard. So I didn't have the computer for a little while, and that's why I couldn't do the live stream. Also, I've just been horribly lazy. So, um, you know. But let me fill you in on a couple of things that have happened recently. Um, I've had a couple of realizations, as you'll find out sooner or rather later in the live stream. Uh, and they're all about how things don't necessarily exist the way we see them. Now, I'm going to talk about this later because another thing that I've been doing, completely unrelated, is I've kind of been going off caffeine for a little while. I've been drinking a lot of juice, um, partially by choice, partially not by choice. I've been off for like maybe a month and a half, but now back to drinking poison. Cheers, boys. Yeah. All right, let's lead some of the chat here. We got a start. Yellow, howdy. I didn't realize it was already 7 here. Oh yeah, because you got different time zone. She says I just got another sale. Wow, that's good. We're not good, assuming you're trying to end your business. um, you radical. Yeah. Cheers. Do another live stream. God damn, that's strong. Starter says, who else is here? Nobody, as far as I can tell. I think that you and I might be the only people here for now, which is kind of unfortunate because I had to say that I was going to live stream all day. But you know what? I'm sure that'll change. I'm sure there'll be more people. I didn't really try reaching out to anybody about this, but surely the notifications are rolling around to some people somewhere. I mean, I have 122 subscribers. Surely at least one of them has got the message that I'm out here other than you. So, you know. Is there a lurker? So the 2 likes are me and you? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Hold on. I don't think I liked my own video. There is a chance of that because I tend to do that, but I haven't really checked this one out on YouTube yet. I've just been, anticipating the stream. Let me check. Wouldn't it be funny if Thorn were in here? I feel like I got a lurker somewhere, and he tends to be the one. Or it could be my dad. I have no idea. Hold on a minute. Let me check this here. You said there are 2 likes? Study said, hi, Dad. Yeah, for me, it's only 1 like. I just liked my own video. But yeah, it's just you and me as far as I can tell. Sorry about that if you hear crying in the background. Sister's freaking the hell out. Starter says you've raised. But yeah, I would agree. I am a what the youth would call a cool kid. Oh jeez. Should I try to reach out to some people here? I'm kind of disconnected from social media quite a bit. You know, but I have Facebook, so maybe I could drop a couple of things there. Mm. All right. Public. Live stream. All right. That is my very first post on Facebook. Live stream. Search Wyatt Coverdale if you want to see me talk about philosophical stuff. Cheers. And that's that. So, All right, let's see if I can get some more stuff rolling here. Yo, Stardate, you still here? Yes, okay. If you can, get some of the crazy people on here. Get like EA or some shit. Oop, I mean, crap. Sorry about that. Man, I do not talk to a lot of people, do I? Oh, well. I'm just going to wait for a couple of people. Man, we're already 8 minutes in. I feel kind of guilty not to talk about anything yet for the people who are going to, come on and see the stuff afterwards. Oh, what's that? Oh. Well, this is awkward. You see, the reason why I would do live streams rather than videos is because I usually want more of an audience and put like a feeling I'm connected to them. But if they don't show up, then what's the difference between this and the video? So I'll just start. For you, Astarte, and everybody else that's here now, you've seen the title of this video. Walk like a duck, talk like a duck must be an illusion. That's a little thing that I came up with. And basically, we're going to talk about how our senses tend to lie to us. You see, just because we see the universe in a logical and a completely understandable way does not necessarily mean that that is what the universe is. It's more like we are perceiving something which cannot be known through a lens, which is the human experience. And how I figured this out was, whether it be a priori understanding or evidence-based stuff. And for those who don't know, a priori means logical stuff. If you go down philosophical logic for long enough, you'll eventually find people saying that science or evidence or things like that aren't necessarily really claiming that something is happening, because those things could just be a correlation going on in our brain chemistry. Like we're piecing something together that isn't actually a phenomena, that appears to us as a phenomena because our brains naturally try to look for patterns in things, when really that could be nothing at all. Now, evidence, there's the other side of it. The hard physical science of things would say that the brain or our ability to reason things out can sometimes be misleading. Um, and that our ability to, really comprehend things or really ration things out could be completely illusory or at least somewhat misleading. Um, so, from both the side of logic and philosophy and the side of science, both of them are kind of saying the same thing. Or, well, not really, but both of them are saying that they both are inaccurate. Logic says that evidence is wrong, and evidence says that logic is wrong. So, what's going on there? Um, Let me meditate on that for a little bit. All right. So, evidence and logic is wrong. This means that basically, no matter what it is, no matter how much sense it could make, there is always a chance that it could be wrong. No matter what it is. No matter if it's as simple as 1 plus 1 equals 2, that could be completely wrong in the real universe, whatever that means. What we see is not the real universe. What we observe, all of these scientific observations, and even these observations within logic, like what I'm telling you right now, all of this could be a complete illusion. And really, it comes down to faith. It's whether or not you trust what your own eyes are telling you. Now, personally, I don't. That's why I went down philosophy in the first place. Um, but that's I see that as really where things separate at the base fundamental level. It's either you believe what your eyes are telling you or you don't. And my reasoning is that, well, if both sides are telling us that both could equally be flawed, then there isn't really a reason to worry about it, is it? Like, you could just be sort of an absurdist and not care about the universe at that logical level. But that's not what we're about here. That's not what we're doing. The point is, no matter how much sense something could make, even if it's repeatable with evidence, that could possibly be incorrect because you're seeing it through a human lens and not the lens of the whole thing itself. You would have to be the universe to understand the universe, and technically you are that. You are the universe, like in a literal sense, but you're the universe's awareness perceiving the mind which perceives the universe. Like when we see all these observations, like you know, this little talisman here uh, goes up into the air when I throw it and comes down, and I catch it. I could do that over and over. But no matter how much sense that makes, this could just be a trick of the mind. This isn't the real universe. This isn't what's happening. It sounds crazy to somebody who is uninitiated into these things, but just study Platonism. You'll get it. Starter says, "I'll be right back." All right. Uh, so what I'm witnessing when I do this is not something necessarily going up and down, but it's what my brain can perceive as the motion of going up and down. This could be doing something completely different, and I would have no idea. The geometry of this could be something completely different, and I would have no idea. My running theory is that everything in the universe is infinite, but even that isn't necessarily based in anything, really. Because despite how much I ponder on it, I can't break through the illusion which is the human experience. There is literally no way to know. So, uh, and even if you did know, like, throughout a couple of reincarnations, since, if everything is infinite, then there's infinite probability, like in the illusion. Even then, even if it were infinitely probable, therefore completely definite that you are going to see the universe as a whole as it is, even that would technically be only seeing it through the lens of whatever you are in that period of time. You can never see the real universe. It's something which is hidden to everybody. The highest gods, the smallest insects, everything. Nothing can see it. It's literally something that's invisible. It can't even be understood. Like, me saying this, me reasoning this out to, actually makes it more muddled than if I were to just not talk about it to you. Because everything that I could say about it is completely incorrect, because that would assume that it's something that it isn't. It's ineffable. If you say that it's like with the theory of the one in Platonism, if you say that the one was made of gold, that would mean that it is limited in the sense of which it can't be anything else but gold. And if something is infinite, then, well, it has to be everything and everything in between and everything that we don't even know. So the more I try to reason this to you, and even what I'm saying could be completely illusory. Like, all of this that I've just explained could be BS. That's how non-specific it is. That's how much you just can't know it. So I've been getting real into absurdism lately. Starting to think that philosophy might be a bit of a fool's errand. Is this enlightenment? Maybe. Maybe. So basically, at the end of this, what I'm saying is, somebody who's completely ignorant of these things is just as correct as somebody who's studied these things for about 20 years, because it makes no difference. One may have a better understanding, or not a better understanding, but at least a better view of observations within the illusion which they exist in. But those observations are not what is material. Or, not material, but it's not what is. It could just be our senses messing with us. There are infinite things which we can see and infinite things which we can't. Um, and that implies that no matter how big we are, there will always be something above us that we cannot see. It's all an illusion, bro. All an illusion. Not to say that it isn't effective. Like, science has got us very far. There is no doubt about that. The fact that we can recognize this pattern gives us a lot of insight on how we think the universe works. But that is only what we can observe. I mean, that clearly that's important to us. Like, who cares about the universe at large if it has nothing to do with us, really? Like, so long as we have just the basic understanding of how our experience perceives it, then, it's, well, excuse me, that's all that really matters, because, I mean, what's the point in trying to see something that you can't see, or trying to figure out something that you... Let me reword that. The point in... I have no words, really. But my point is, we should try and figure out the illusion rather than the universe at large, because the universe at large literally can't be known. We have to figure out what we perceive to be the universe, which is the evidence which we have, the evidence which we're limited to, and the evidence that will eventually grow into something else. There's no sense in trying to see necessarily what is beyond our perception, because our perception is all that we will ever see. That's absurd. That's absurdism wrapped in a little nutshell for you. Starter says back. Welcome back. I've been rambling for the past couple of minutes now. It's now about been 20 minutes. You're the only person here still? Yes, you are. All right. Looks like this is a lonely. I can get more people up here. So let me just really quickly explain my cosmology to anybody who still doesn't quite understand what I'm getting at. What I believe is there is some sort of substance which is infinite that is being and doing everything. It has no laws. Well, technically, assuming it's infinite in every way, that would mean that a logos doesn't necessarily apply. There is no constant to it. So maybe it does in some part of it. You see what I mean? It's completely ineffable. I can't describe it, but there is something which is, generally large, some sort of omni substance, really, and it's being and doing everything. And one of the things that's being and doing is this universe. And why is it doing this? Because it can. That's just the nature of it. If something can exist, then it must exist. If there is infinite probability in the universe. This is only how I can perceive it. This might not be the real truth of it, but this is as far as I've gotten. So there isn't necessarily a set of laws which apply to everything in the universe. There is only what we can perceive and call laws, and then what is completely lawless, that is just effectively a bunch of dreamlike scenarios taking place. This probably sounds like rambling. So that's all, really. That's it. Any of your thoughts, Astronauts? So there's like one infinite substance, infinite in every way, being and doing everything, has no laws to it. One of the things that's doing and being is us in this experience. And we perceive it as having laws and having reason and having patterns to it. But that's only because our brains within whatever it is trying to be, that's just what it was designed to do. It's much similar to a Boltzmann brain, but like applied on a non-dual scale. What are your thoughts? Anyone? Nope, I'm alone. Okay. Well, let's just see what happens, I guess. By the way, I have candy canes now. Want one? I'm really glad these things are coming back into season. Candy canes are like my absolute favorite candy in the world. I just really like minty stuff. And I prefer them all the time over those stupid little Starlight Mints because those are just sugar candies. Like those aren't actually minty. These have some peppermint punch to them. I mean, it is just sugar and corn syrup, really, but it just, it has more of that. Uh, what's the word I'm looking for here? It has more of that punch to it. It's not just. It doesn't just taste like a sugar candy. It tastes like a peppermint leaf. You know. So overall, it's just better. They're really crumbly, so I got to do that. I usually don't eat on camera, but I feel like, I mean, it's a candy cane. It's not that big a deal. Oh, by the way, I know it's been a long while. Hair's starting to grow back. Can't wait and still can't wait until I get that Manson look again. I thought that'll look pretty badass. I've always preferred long hair. I've never really gotten a haircut. It's always just kind of been like grow, shave, repeat for me. You know? Well, that's the main topic out of the way. That's all I really have to cover on it. It's a very dense full of information that I gave you. Sorry about that. But I've had a lot of time to think about this kind of stuff. Oh, something that ties into this. Um, Last Thursday on DH Thorne's stream. If you don't know, I hang out with him pretty often. Um, or not like hang out, but I come on to his live streams pretty often. Um, I think you should go to and subscribe to him immediately, like before me even, because he's just really good source of information. Um, he was talking about how he thought that memories were, instead of like snapshots of moments that you experience and then having them being recalled, he thought that they were more like a sort of directory. Like, uh, let's say we recall the time that I was dropping that little talisman up and down. I was throwing up into the air and dropping it down. Uh, Now, what reminded me of that? It was not like I just recalled an experience because I'm not reliving it. It's more like I had something which was a symbol that I perceived that caused some sort of reaction in my mind to happen. Like all these little correlations happened, and they made me believe that I just did something a little while ago. Could be completely illusory, could not be. But the idea is you make an observation, your mind applies that observation to a bunch of correlations in your mind that you've made throughout the years. And that sort of causes what we think to be a memory to form. A memory is really just sort of a thought, according to him. But that didn't make sense to me because if memories are just thoughts, then what are thoughts? Like how are we making these correlations? What are these correlations if not memories? It really seems like a sort of causeless cause thing going on here. And then I thought to myself, holy crap, that's that's how us humans perceive the universe. So what if quite literally we're just looking at our own, like we're observing our own mind, and that's all we can really see of the universe is whatever our minds are able to comprehend. And this is kind of something that non-dualism has taught us about for a really long time. Like I've been saying this since the beginning. Um, but it gave me a real deeper insight on it. Like quite literally, our brain chemistry is modeled in a way which allows us to see it this way. Um, it's very hard to break out of that. impossible, even. It's actually impossible for you to break out of your own brain chemistry, because if you did, you'd be dead. Or whatever the equivalent of dead is in my philosophy. So that ties into that. What was I talking about before I went off on that rant? Talks about my hair. Candy canes. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Oh, sorry for showing my gross leg. Alright, well, that's really all I got to say. And it looks like nobody else is coming. So, thank you for joining. I promise I'll start doing this more often. No, I don't. I don't promise that. But I hope to, Oh, Starte's back. Invited some friends next time. Okay, good, cool. Thank you, Astarte. I really appreciate that. I'm sure to give you a really special shout out for that or something like that. like maybe I'll do something for you in the next stream. You're welcome. Yeah, that's all I really got. So Starter says, I meant you can invite some friends next time. Oh, well, I don't have any of those. So, She says, why. When have you caught on to doing that? My parents call me YY. They've been doing that like since I was a baby. And it bothers me. Wyatt is the name Wyatt. It's not a bad name, but something about it feels very childish to me. I don't like it. It feels immature of a name, Like it doesn't belong with it doesn't belong with John and David. It like belongs with the Kevins and Michaels. So, all right. Good night, everybody. I'm really glad that I'm able to do this again. It's been fun. Stay cool, really, and catch you in the next one. Cheers.